Filip Forsberg, one of this year's biggest pending free agents, will not be hitting the open market as he and the Nashville Predators have agreed to a long-term contract extension. We'll get into the details right now. Hey everybody, so we have some major signing news today as one of the biggest pending free agents who is going to be hitting the open market next week will not be hitting the open market. Filip Forsberg has signed with the Nashville Predators on an 8-year contract extension worth $8.5 million per year. This just happened this morning, so pretty early on this. Here's a tweet from Frank Saravelli. Nashville as a team has announced it as well. Predators are pleased to announce that they've agreed to terms with Filip Forsberg on an 8-year deal. Saravelli's got it as an 8 by $8.5 million deal. And this is a very important contract for the Nashville Predators and one that they really needed to get done. If we take a look here at what Forsberg brings to the table, he's 27 years old. His birthday's in August, so he'll be 28 by the time we start next season, but still right in the prime of his career. He had 42 goals last season in 69 games played, 84-point year. Over the course of his career, he's played 566 games. He has 469 points, including 220 career goals. He is one of the most important offensive players for the Nashville Predators, their best pure goal scorer. And it was very important for a team like Nashville, who is a playoff team, trying to contend to get a deal done with Forsberg. This was not a guy that they wanted to lose. And overall, I think for what Forsberg brings to the table in the prime of his career, a 40-goal guy, this is a very solid contract for both sides. Obviously, $8.5 million a year is a pretty hefty cost, but for a guy that's a 40-goal scorer, that's what it's going to cost you. And you know, he gets a nice long-term deal with the team that he's played his entire career with so far. And, you know, for Nashville, they get their best goal scorer locked up right in the prime of his career, which is very important. And he's been a consistently great player for the Predators for a long time. I mean, obviously last season was his best. He had an absolutely unreal year last year. It was his first 40-goal season in the NHL. And then the 2 years before that, you know, he hasn't played really full seasons. His last full season he played was actually 2016-17, the year that Nashville went to the Cup. He had 31 goals that year and 58 points. His certainly has progressed over the last number of years, but, you know, with the shortened seasons, we haven't gotten to see his numbers really played out over a full 82-game schedule until this past season, which he didn't even play the full 82 games. He only played 69 of them, but he still had 42 goals and 84 points. If he can replicate this and become a point per game guy on a regular basis, this is going to end up looking like a very good contract, at least for the next few years for the Nashville Predators. And again, he'll be 28 for during next season, right still in that prime portion of his career. Even if he doesn't have 84 points again, as long as he's a 70-point guy for Nashville, you know, 30-plus goals, 70-plus points, this is a solid contract for the Predators, as he is certainly one of their most important offensive players. And, you know, for a team like Nashville, this is a contract that's well worth it. It's a solid number. This is a guy that they need in their lineup. And a guy that they need producing in their lineup, and a guy that they really couldn't have afforded to see just walk in free agency this summer. So all in all, I like this deal for the Preds. I think it's pretty solid. I wouldn't call it team-friendly or anything like that, but for a guy coming off his career best season in his first 40-goal season, to get him at under $9 million AAV, I think is very fair. I think this is a very fair contract for what Filip Forsberg is worth. I hope that he can continue to perform at the level that he did last year. This is a player that I've liked a lot throughout his career. It has been really fun to watch. And I hope he can keep that 40-goal pace up. You know, this past season was his first 40-goal season. I hope he can do it at least another time or two. Again, not sure how this contract's going to look at the end, you know, year 6, 7, 8 of it, but that's not what Nashville's playing for right now. You know, they're not worried about what year 7 and 8 of this deal is going to look like. They're trying to contend in the playoffs right now. And I would think that at least the first half of this contract is going to be good for the Predators and for Forsberg, who should easily continue to produce at a high level for at least the next 4 or 5 years. You know, once he gets into his mid-30s, maybe we start to see a drop-off. Maybe we don't. That's to be determined. But I would think that at least the next 4 to 5 years for Forsberg are still going to be highly productive years as he goes through his late 20s and into his early 30s. I don't see any reason to think he's going to drop off significantly and not be a legitimate first-line scorer. So at the end of the day, I think overall this is very, very solid for Nashville. A guy that they needed to get a deal done with and keep. They've done it. And he's going to be a very important player for this team for the next number of years, as he has been for the last number of years. He is one of their most important offensive players. So the Nashville Predators lock up Filip Forsberg, 8-year contract, $8.5 million per. I think a very fair deal for both sides, solid all around, good payday for Forsberg, but still a decent AAV for Nashville to get him at under $9 million coming off of a 40-goal season. And we'll see if he can keep up the 40-goal seasons for the foreseeable future. I'm expecting high productivity out of him again next season. And I know that Nashville, having signed him to this extension, is certainly hoping for the same. So that's what I've got in the Filip Forsberg deal. Thank you guys so much for watching. And with that, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our merchandise store, membership, and donations down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.